Young ladies and gentlemen, this is the headline of international news. It's very, very hot regarding the American President Donald Trump. It's very hot concerning him. Yes, the trade war he initiated between himself and almost every state in the world is backfiring on America. The American stock market is in full collapse. In addition to that, Donald Trump is now behaving childishly towards China. On this evening of April 8, 2025, the decision from the White House has been announced. Donald Trump has indeed signed. The new figure on China's tariffs. But it's a figure that disappoints the world. It's a figure that causes everyone to have understood and say that Donald Trump is behaving childishly. That is to say, it's like a kid playing. While the Chinese stock market is experiencing full growth, on the side of the United States of America, since the implementation of what are called these tariffs, even flights, the demand for flights, that is to say, the airlines, there has been a decrease. The American stock market is in free fall. The Federal Treasury is being affected. And many analysts on the American continent already see that obviously inflation will soon emerge in the United States of America, something that had not existed before. And what's even worse is that the European Union made a proposal to Donald Trump on April 7th. The proposal from Ursula von der Leyen, a proposal called Zero for Zero. Yesterday. Yes. April 7th, 2025. So on the same day, Donald Trump awoke, systematically rejected this proposal, which aimed to somewhat resolve the economic crisis caused by the increase in customs tariffs in Europe. So, this proposal from the European Union was brushed aside by Donald Trump. So, as if all that wasn't enough, Donald Trump doubled the customs tariff imposed on China. Donald Trump even added a bit more, as if to say, yes, they will notice me. So, here is the headline news, ladies and gentlemen, in the context of this video conference. This is what we are going to talk about. Thank you for sharing the video conference. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible in all groups. There you go. And don't forget to like. What is happening right now, everyone should follow and share. That's why I'm asking you to share. We Africans must stay informed about what is happening. You know, I told you earlier, it was a morning. Donald Trump wants to divide China and Russia. He wants to pit them against each other by imposing very high tariffs on China and not taxing Russia at all. So if Xi Jinping is not clever, he might go after Vladimir Putin. But fortunately, the decisions that Donald Trump is currently making are decisions that are actually benefiting Xi Jinping. Let's dive deep, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive deep. Yes? So, regarding China, you know, Donald Trump had given an ultimatum to China. He said it on April 8th. That was yesterday. Donald Trump gave China until April 8th to remove the tariffs that China imposed on America. And China imposed these tariffs in a sovereign manner, it must be said. In a very sovereign manner. China imposed these tariffs. And Donald Trump, as if he were the master of the Chinese, ordered, saying, if by the 8th you do not remove them, he will increase them. He will double them. So, today is the 8th. China has not made a decision. China cannot bow to the demands of the United States of America. These are two great superpowers. So, each of these powers is beating its chest. But for the moment, it is China that is winning in this duel. And China has not made a decision. Donald Trump has therefore decided to institute a new tax. And this time, it goes up to 104%. If initially it was 34%, that means it has tripled. From 34%, it goes to 104%. Yes. Not even 100% or 50%, it goes to 104%. So, according to official information, the White House has confirmed that the reciprocal American tariffs on Chinese imports will increase to 104%, starting April 9th. After Beijing missed the deadline to remove retaliatory tariffs on American products. This is what Fox News reports. So, for Donald Trump, since they refused, they missed the deadline. Donald Trump moves to 104% instead of 34%. There you go. And now the ball is in China's court. We'll see. Will China also rise to this level? At this rate, they risk reaching up to 1,000%. We'll see. It's nonsense what they are doing. So, here's the first news. But what is the second news? Share this video conference with me. Share it as much as possible. So, on the other side, in the same vein of tariffs, the European Union preferred to kneel before America. The European Union made a proposal. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, proposed that America apply what they call, how did they call it anyway? Brussels made an offer of 0 to 0 on cars and industrial products. 0 to 0, that is to say, they will apply 0 to 0, and America will also apply 0 to 0. So, it's reciprocity, it's the same thing. All this to help Europe. Now, Donald Trump very furious. Like someone who really wants to show what he is capable of, Donald Trump came out to say that no, it's not possible. This offer of 0 to 0, it doesn't work. Donald Trump says that the European Union will have to commit to buying $350 billion of American energy to obtain a suspension of radical tariffs. If they don't pay $350 billion of American energy, that is to say, pay for energy with America, that's the condition. They pay that. And there can be a suspension of radical tariffs. If the European Union doesn't pay, it's fine. So because, Donald Trump says that Europe has taken too much advantage of America. So Europe would need to give back in one way or another. However, Europe is currently impoverished. Europe is poor. Where Europe used to get money was in Africa. Now everything is closed. Everything is locked down. So that's why Europe is trying to appease. But Donald Trump refuses to listen. So, Trump wants the European Union to spend $350 billion on American energy to be eligible for the abolition of tariffs. So this is what Donald Trump is asking for. In any case, while the classic match is ongoing, China is rising in power in the global markets. And we will see China's reaction. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for sharing this video conference as much as possible. I will get back to you shortly with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only samurai. Thank you.